Sean Curry with you, playing back an hour and a half of the music you absolutely like.
When you've got diarrhea.
But just keep telling yourself it's only a video game.
Ho ho ho, you filthy animals. Welcome back to Cursed Takes, the show where we answer questions that nobody did or ever will ask. Today, we're talking about Christmas. You know, the holiday we're not allowed to enjoy anymore because of certain people. You know who I'm talking about. Every December, they crawl out of the woodwork to remind you that actually, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Like, okay, dude, we get it. You don't believe in Santa anymore and you're a little too cool to be jolly. Well, you know what? I don't believe in John McClane. How about that? I'll tell you why, because I've met people from the NYPD. I promise you, the amount of John McClanes they're hiring is precisely zero. In fact, you know what I think is more realistic than a cop from New York putting it all on the line to single-handedly take on a group of highly trained terrorists? Santa Claus. If you're ever in a hostage situation, the chances of you being rescued by Santa Claus are probably better than being rescued by someone from the NYPD. Sorry, I don't make the rules. You know what I do make up, though? This list of 5 Santa Claus that I think would make Die Hard more realistic if you swapped him out for John McClane. Before we go any further, we need to give an honorable mention to Violent Night, which is exactly Die Hard with Santa Claus. And now you've got David Harbour playing Nikoman the Red, a Viking warrior who at some point became Santa Claus. Personally, though, I don't think Violent Night makes this list. Santa almost dies in this movie, and, you know, based on that, I think Hans Gruber and his crew rinse his ass. Hey, guess what? Christmas exists in Narnia, and so does Father Christmas. He's the Santa for both Earth and Narnia, which means he's cross-dimensional. That power alone means he's only doing Die Hard for the fun of it. He can leave anytime he wants, but he's staying because he's got a job to do. When he reveals himself to the Pevensey children in Narnia, he presents them each with a magical weapon to use against the White Witch. His power includes identifying the right tool for the job and then giving it to the right person. First, he'd enter Nakatomi Tower through the snow-covered chimney on Ellis's face. Then he would give his chosen champion, Holly Gennaro, the Mach 11 of a mother's love, the weapon of a sworn protector whose bullets seek only those who threaten her chosen flock. In this version, John McClane doesn't even need to leave the executive bathroom. He can just stand there all night bitching to no one about his social anxiety. Alright, this movie gives us edgelord versions of traditional holiday icons who are in a gang together and they use violence to defend their sacred days. Nicholas St. North is the leader of this crew, and he is exactly what you would picture if you asked your mom to design a cool Santa. He's dressed like a small-town hunk from a holiday-themed rom-com, and he's got full-sleeve, naughty and nice tats. If you didn't know this was Santa, you would assume this guy runs a distillery in the basement of a restaurant that charges $30 for a burger, and the fries cost extra. Anyway, besides being painfully focus group, this Santa is a warrior. He dual wields a pair of sabers, but even though the movie doesn't show him using them that much, they do show him deploying portal tech to summon his army of elves and yetis. It's not entirely clear if Nicholas St. North is bulletproof, but what is clear is that he seems to have access to a limitless supply of meat shields that could soak up ammo to allow him to get close enough to his targets and neutralize. Gruber's gang wasn't even prepared for a single guy that kinda knew how to fight. They definitely did not bring enough ammo to withstand a teleporting army of snow monsters. This Santa not only stomps, but he finishes things off by clotheslining Hans Gruber with his naughty arm. This Santa's a little unfair because we don't need to find some cute angle on his powers that would make him useful in combat. This dude is straight up the son of Satan. This version of Santa lost a bet to an angel and was forced to spread joy once a year instead of indulging in his annual day of mayhem and murder. He's a demon who loves violence, and he would turn Nakatomi Tower into a slaughterhouse for Hans and his gang. Santa would stalk them one by one and take them out with cute twists on Christmas themes like a tree topper ninja star and setting a guy on fire. I don't know. I should mention that this film is not very good and it runs out of ideas very quickly. Anyway, Hans and the gang are definitely not stopping a demon from hell, which means everybody's screwed because Santa's definitely not going to stop with the bad guys. He's going back to that party and he's finishing off everyone else in the building, including McClane, before possibly moving outside to deal with the cops. This Santa doesn't even get defeated in his own movies, so Nothing about this LAPD makes me think they got this. Not even Sergeant Powell, who miraculously finds the power to kill again while inspiring Christmas music plays. Now, there are a few iterations of Santa Claus in the Marvel Universe, but a lot of them are dubious retellings from unreliable narrators. The Santa from 1991's Marvel Holiday Special, though, is widely considered to be canon. He was detected by Cerebro and classified as an Omega-level mutant. For context, here's some other Omega-level mutants. Storm, Magneto, Professor X, freaking Legion. In this issue, he turns the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants into toys, teleports the X-Men to a different location, wipes their memory of ever having met him, and then he makes it snow. At the very least, he has the power to destroy the world. In a Die Hard situation, Earth 616 Santa gives everyone at the Nakatomi party their own European terrorist action figure without even breaking a sweat. And then he goes outside and he turns Sergeant Al Powell into an action figure too, because that dude shot a kid, man. I'm sorry, but that's just not something you get to come back from. Alright, before we talk about this Santa, we're gonna need to talk about Darkseid. Darkseid is a Justice League villain that is essentially a god. He's immortal. He can teleport anywhere he wants to through both time and space. He can trap victims in a series of alternate realities called the Omega Sanction, where they experience horrible deaths over and over and over again. The Omega beams he shoots from his eyes can maim, kill, or teleport anyone he wants. He can even use the Omega beams to make it so the target never even existed in the first place, completely wiping them out from the timeline. They zigzag around targets, they pass through matter and other forms of energy. Essentially, there's no escape from the Omega beams. Here's a quick list of everyone that survived a killing blow from the Omega beams. 1. Superman. 2. Doomsday. End of list. Darkseid rules over a planet called Apocalypse, which is an engine of war. The entire planet is a weapon, and its purpose is to use superior technology to spread misery throughout all of existence. No one is casually visiting Apocalypse unless they are one of the most powerful characters in all of DC. That being said, let's talk about Santa. Darkseid's unceasing desire to spread misery has earned him a permanent place on the naughty list. And everyone knows if you're on the naughty list, you get a piece of coal. DC Santa makes it his duty to visit Apocalypse every year and personally hand-deliver a piece of coal to Darkseid. Every year, Darkseid beefs up Apocalypse's security in the hopes of thwarting Santa, and every year they fail. No amount of troops or weapons are enough to stop this Santa. They don't even show what he's doing in the comic book because the scope of it is probably too atrocious for what's meant to be a cheeky little holiday tale. He tanks everything Apocalypse has to throw at him, walks right into Darkseid's throne room, hands him his piece of coal, and then he scampers away like he just TP'd someone's house. And then look at this! He even dodges Omega beams on his way out! This Santa is the type of character to playfully tap on Hans Gruber's shoulder, only for him to turn around and see that his entire crew has been reduced to piles of ashes. Hans frantically empties his entire clip into Santa as he just merrily laughs in response. Hans looks down at his gun and sees that it's been replaced by a lump of coal, and then he falls to his knees and tearfully begs to be taken to jail, yelling, "Please, anything but Santa!" So there you have it, 5 Santas that I think would make Die Hard more realistic. Comment below if you disagree with any of them, or if you think I missed a Santa Claus, or if you're just one of those Die Hard is a Christmas movie people and you hate everything about me. Till next time, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.